who brought in the rain this morning. Good chance for us to work on a wet field. Hopefully we get a little moisture out there. We'll get some one way or another if we had to create ourselves. But good day on the field yesterday, and we'll just try to keep stringing them together here. Good learning experience. Worked on a lot of different situations. So good film this morning, and we'll be ready to roll again this afternoon or later this morning.
It's been a little while since Mike Vrabel got named as inductee to the Team Hall of Fame, and I didn't even put out a statement, but I was curious more if you had a story or something that stands out to you above all else with Vrabel.
Yeah, no, love Mike, what he did for us here. He was a big signing for us from Pittsburgh. Didn't play much up there, but came here and became an immediate starter. Played in all the kicking game, which he did in Pittsburgh as well. Gave us a lot of leadership, brought a lot of energy, toughness, and football character to our team. It was a great addition. Good relationship with Mike. All the way back to when he was at Ohio State, and since. Followed his coaching career, obviously from Ohio State to Houston, Tennessee. Had a great opportunity to work with Mike. Look forward to working with him again this summer in Tennessee, and his induction later in the fall. So, a lot of great Patriots from my era as a coach in the Hall of Fame. Proud to put another one in, especially on the defensive side of the ball there. Got a lot of Seymour, Bruschi, Vince. I think there's a couple more we need to get in there. Obviously, Ty.
Would you expect to have a truck on practice today?
We'll see. Hopefully.
Do you have a sense of why he wasn't here yesterday?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to comment on that.
Is he in the building right now?
I don't have a monitor on him. I would assume so.
What have you seen from Ty Montgomery since he's been back from injury?
Yeah, Ty looks healthy. Really healthy. He was pretty much back by, shortly after the end of the season in terms of, recovery. But, it gives us a lot of position versatility on offense and in the kicking game. Smart kid, good size, explosive speed. Good to have him out there. He can do a lot of different things. Look forward to having him.
I know you've talked a lot, Bill, about players in year two as opposed to rookie year, but what about year three as opposed to year two, specifically with Mac entering year three? Is there more of a building, education, like where players are at entering that third year?
I think there's growth every year. Some of us have been around for a while, and I think you learn every year. Incrementally, rookie year is the big learning year. Second year, big jump. Third year, you keep growing incrementally, but I think those first 2 years, or especially year 1 to year 2, after you have the understanding of what's going on, are big years. But yeah, Max worked hard. He's like all players that are in here every day working hard. They get better, they improve. He's certainly in that category.
It's been about a year now since Bill Murray made the switch over to offensive line. What kind of progress have you seen from him in that spot?
Good. Yeah, well, of course, he's much more comfortable. This time last year, he was on defense. And actually didn't make the move until training camp, so we're not even a full year into it. But definitely the off season, all the time last year, but then the off season, this is really like year 1 to rookie year to year 2 for him. So big jump, terminology, footwork, technique, line calls. He's a smart kid, but just the experience of doing it. And he's coming along. He's doing a good job. I think this is making good progress, and nobody works harder than Bill. So I know he'll do everything he can to make it happen, make it work, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, for all the linemen here, the evaluation really starts when the pads come on, and actually are truly blocking people or and they're trying to not get blocked and pass rushing and so forth. So we'll see what that looks like. But yeah, he's on track to, I think, have a good competitive camp.
Well, yesterday, Mac, in sort of a lighthearted way, was talking about how Steve is drawing things up for the defense that the offense maybe hasn't seen before, and it was like a good back and forth there. Are there limits on what either side of the ball is able to do in terms of play calls this time of year? Is it sort of whatever?
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, we work together on that. Yeah. So that one side's not doing something the other side hasn't spent time on. It just becomes a waste of time. So yeah, we do that in all areas of the game. So there's a compatibility. We can work together on whatever it is we're working on: punt, return, kickoff, return, blitzes, blitz pickup, whatever it happens to be.
With the defense specifically, with a lot of familiar faces back, are you able to sort of start at a different point in an off season like this one? I know you lost Devin, obviously, but a lot of the same guys back.
I think again, we talked about this yesterday. I think you've got to rebuild your foundation every year, regardless of how many years you've done it. And I go all the way back to my time with the Giants, decade playing the same defense and literally the same defense, same calls, a lot of the same guys, no free agency at that point. And you started the same place every year and you rebuilt the fundamentals every year. And I don't think there's a shortcut to that. I don't think you pick up where you left off after 6 months of football in January. I think you start all over again. We have new people, and we all need to reestablish our fundamentals and our performance. So.
Bill, regarding blitz pickup, as much as you can tell at this stage, the second-year running backs, Pierre, Kevin in particular, what's the sense of improvement they've made? And is that an area where running backs in particular really take big steps forward between year one and year two?
So to answer your second question first, yes, that generally is a big area. Of course, it depends on the individual player and what kind of background he has in that area, but a lot of college players don't have the kind of background there that they would need here. So that is a big level of potential improvement for those guys. And Kevin and Pierre have done a good job there. Again, we'll see what happens when the pads come on and there's knowing who to block and there's blocking them. It's, part A and part B. Can't do one without the other, but they both, have a good willingness to do that. They showed that last year, I think, from a technique, understanding, anticipation standpoint. A lot of times you have a pretty good idea who can come or who will be coming based on the configuration of the secondary or even the front. When they align in certain spots, there's usually a pretty good indication that that's a blitzing location versus not a blitzing location. So little things like that. But yeah, they both come along well, and put Ty in that category too, because Ty really didn't get a full year of it. He had the spring and training camp, but it's been good for him as well. So always an important area, and especially at that position. Things change quickly. Linebackers move, and quarterback makes a call change, and then we have to adjust. And secondary pressures, it's a whole another set of encyclopedias. So yeah, it could get kind of complex back there.
Bill, as this portion of the offseason closes, you go to a semi-break, at least for the players, what do you as a coaching staff and personnel will kind of do over the next period of time between, say, June 16th and July 15th? What are you guys working on?
We evaluate where we are, and we make plans for moving forward.
How do you feel about this checkpoint so far as to where you want it to be when the offseason began, to where you are here on June 12th?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not big on where you want to be. I think you go at the pace you go at, and then you go from there.
With the two place kickers, Nick and Chad, what are going to be the factors that you look for as that unfolds to make a decision?
Yeah, well, their performance, we'll see how it goes. Field goals, kickoffs, and consistency. Looks very competitive. We know what Nick can do. Chad's got, good level of talent too. So yeah, it's competitive, like a lot of other spots on our roster. It looks pretty competitive. See how it goes.
Did you ever keep two guys in that position?
We did last year at times. We had two active, or brought one up. So yeah, it's possible.
Bill, have you seen any particular growth from Jabril now in the second year with the team?
Oh yeah, my God, yeah. Yeah, it's totally. He's a much different player now than he was last year at this time, or even in training camp. Full year after the injury, a lot of confidence in the communication and the system and his assignments. He's playing fast, aggressive, helping out teammates more. Last year he was trying to learn things. Now he's helping out his teammates. Anticipation, making calls or adjustments that will maybe help him or possibly help his teammate be in a better position to defend a certain play or type of play. So yeah, he's been great. It's much, way ahead of where he was last year.
I know he started the move last year before he got to you guys. Scotty Washington, another guy who's switched positions within the last year or so. Have you seen him continue to grow as a tight end?
Yeah, well, Scott's like some other players we have on our roster. He plays where he plays. I don't really know what position that is, but when he's on the field, there's certain things that he can do, and it's good to see him out there. He's been limited in his participation this spring, and in the last week or 10 days, I'm not sure exactly what the breaking point is here, but he's been able to, participate more with the team. In walkthroughs and individual periods, 7-on-7 teams. It's been a little bit of a progression, but good to have him out there, and we'll give him an opportunity this year. He came in, as you know, later during the year. We're already through training camp and early part of the season. That's always a tough transition for a young player. So having him here all through the spring off-season program, and plus from what he learned last year, and he has a much better level of expectation, having been here last year, to what he needs to do. So look forward to seeing him out there. Glad he's had a few opportunities this spring, so at least when he goes to training camp, that won't be the first time. At least he can build on some of the positive opportunities that he's had so far, and in training camp feel confident that he's physically ready to go. So look forward to working with him.
Bill, Lawrence Guy, we didn't see him yesterday. It was reported that a contract issue is keeping him out. Is that your understanding of the situation?
Yeah, you'd have to talk to him about that.
Is he somebody you'd like to have with the team this year?
Yeah, whatever the issue is, you can talk to him about that. I'm not going to talk about contracts, personal situations, or injuries. All right, thank you.